Hey everybody, today I just wanted to do a quick video kind of talking about if you have an application, you want to use DAQmx, but maybe you're not super familiar with the DAQmx API, or maybe you're doing something with DAQmx that you haven't done previously, and you want to find a good kind of getting started place. So, you don't have to just figure it all out from scratch. So just want to highlight where a great getting started place is. So we're going to go to Help, and we're going to select this Find Examples option. So I already have it open right here. Yeah, let's go take a look. So you'll get a little window that will look like this, and this basically just is all of the LabVIEW examples, those that ship with LabVIEW, and then those that install with various toolkits that you might install. And they kind of have it categorized, broken apart. So for anything DAQmx, we're going to want to look in this hardware input and output section. So if you double click on that, it'll expand that. From there, we can see that there's a couple different folders, but the one that we're interested in here is DAQmx. So we can open that up. And then it's actually broken out even further based off of the type of thing that we're doing with DAQmx. So we've got, as you can see, analog input, analog output, counter input, counter output, digital input, digital output, power synchronization. So depending on the different types of signals you're working with, and also whether you're trying to measure something or generate something, there's different options. So just think anytime that you're wanting to measure something, doesn't matter what it is, think input. And anytime you're wanting to generate something, it could be writing a digital line high, or setting a DC voltage, or it could be pulses, sine wave, any sort of waveform, think output. So depending on what you're trying to do, you'll select the appropriate folder. Let's look at some of these analog input examples. So you can see here they actually have different examples for a whole bunch of different types of measurements. So depending on what you're trying to do, there's different examples for these. So voltage is a very common one. Just a lot of different instrumentation outputs of voltage. So we have a whole bunch of different voltage examples, and there's different types of ways we can use DAQmx. So from the last video I made, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. We talk about a little bit of these, right? So like, what is like a finite sample measurement versus continuous, right? And so depending on which one of those you need, there's an example for that. And I can just double click the example that I want, and it'll pop up the example right here. So then I'm able to, I can just run an example, I can just link up my hardware and run it, and I can actually just see, oh, there's my data right there. But then also I can go in and I can go see the source code. I can see how they actually did this. So I can see, oh, well, here they're using create virtual channel. Oops, sorry, let me pull up context help. Create virtual channel. Here they're using the DAQmx timing function. Here we've got some logging, so that's how you can configure DAQmx logging. Trigger, how we can apply different triggers. Start, reading our samples, stopping, clearing. So I can see exactly how they did that super easily, and I can use that to kind of pattern my other code. And then I can go back here, and maybe I looked at finite input, but I want to see, how do I use continuous input? Or how do I do maybe hardware times single point? Or maybe I don't have voltage, and maybe I want to read strain or current or something like that. There's examples for all of these. Same thing goes for different outputs, right? Do I need to generate like a finite output, continuous output? Do I want a function generator, right? So I actually have here an example where I can generate a function, and it shows you how you can do that using the function generator DAQmx kind of selection. So really cool, really good way to just say, hey, I have some hardware, I know what I need to do, but I don't quite know how to do it. This is a great place to get started. You can either, from here, I can just go and select this code and go to an empty VI and paste it, And now I have all of that code in another VI that I can then go and modify to match my specific needs. So that's one way you can take that. You can also just, look at it and kind of copy how it's wired. This is obviously a lot faster because I have all my code done basically immediately. Another thing that you can do is on your VI, your example VI, you don't necessarily want to modify the example VI directly, just because once I modify this VI and save it, those changes are going to be saved on that computer. So if you go pull up this example later, it's going to have your changes. So if you're going to want to just take the example VI and modify it, I recommend that you go to File and Save As. And there's a couple different options. So you can either substitute the copy for the original, create an unopened disk copy, or open an additional copy. This is the one that I do the most often, where it's going to leave this example VI open, but it's also going to create a copy of it under a new name somewhere else. And then I can actually have both open. So this is the one that I do the most, but then I can just hit continue and it'll prompt me where to save that. And that's a really easy way to just basically copy this VI out in its entirety. Either that or copying and pasting, and then you've already got an awesome starting place for your application. You can go customize the front panel to your needs and customize some of the logic in the block diagram to your needs. But the actual, how do I use the DAQmx API part is pretty much already figured out for you. So it's an excellent starting point. So I hope that's helpful, and thanks for watching.
Canon Controls is your gateway to mastering LabVIEW. Dive into programming for data acquisition, industrial communications, and manufacturing automation. Explore how to enhance your projects with cybersecurity best practices. Join the journey to elevate your skills and secure your systems with every episode.